Let me get into this. So I had a client come and sit in our office 4 days ago. They have got a social media account, I think for Instagram, maybe something for Facebook, and they've got a website. They do hundreds of millions of dollars worth of revenue every year. And they said, how do we do this? How do we start? We want to project the right brand message, for our business, but we really don't do anything. Now, they don't post at all. That's an example of a business that's continuing to do hundreds of millions of dollars worth of revenue that has got no social media. So the question for the room in terms of resetting the room is, do we really need social media for business? It really depends on where your customers hang out. And this is a question that I'm constantly asking because my board challenges me on this every single month when we have a board meeting and we look at the P&Ls and we look at the balance sheet and we look at the activities of the business and we look at the resources, and I deploy probably 25 to 30% of the human resources in this organization against social media activity. Think about scaling your message. So my question to you is, where do your potential customers hang out? Maybe they used to hang out at trade shows. Maybe they hang out at events. Maybe they hang out, reading the newspaper. Maybe they hang out in the yellow pages. We can think about the different ways that we kind of put our flag up and we said, here we are. Now, the internet, as a big word, created this amazing opportunity for people to scale their messages. When I think about social media, I think about our unique places on the internet. And I kind of rattled off a list here, and you could talk about YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Google, Spotify, Clubhouse, TikTok, your website, your blog articles if you like, Twitter, to a certain extent, your email list. Some of those are social, and some of those are kind of macro one-way communication activities. So really we can break this even further down and we can say, well, do we need social media? Because what's happening with our factory is we're actually deploying more effort toward our email list and unique landing pages, which are not necessarily social media. So I'm going to draw a line between website and landing pages versus social media, where I would expect that to be a two-way conversation, where you might put up a post and get a reaction, a like or a comment, for example, or engagement. So you might get a reply to email, but starting to really think about mechanically about those aspects. And we are finding with some of our businesses, particularly the businesses that have a kind of confidential nature to them, that email list and kind of almost scaled, because we can send out bulk email, but not scalable because we're then engaging in a one-on-one conversation, either backwards and forwards on email. We really then can dig down and say, okay, well, what's our objective? What's our goal? So, of course, I'm in the camp of absolutely, I think it's essential. But I just wanted to be really clear with a lot of the clients that we work with, particularly with best practice, that are doing government tendering, government infrastructure work, where business to business, they're worried about their competitors, they're worried about how much they put out there. They are existing, and most of the clients that I work with kind of day to day, week to week, are mid-market to large market cap companies. And yeah, they might do a little bit of brand awareness in more mainstream business to consumer activities, but when they're going business to business, they're existing and doing hundreds of millions of dollars with one social media post a year. Now, yeah, on average last year we did 100 posts per day, and I think it's worth commenting on. I'm experimenting with all of the platforms. Obviously, Clubhouse right now, two-way conversation. Talking about, TikTok. We're doing lots of TikTok. We're doing a push on Instagram at the moment. But our success for our customers has been on YouTube. Putting videos up on YouTube. And one of our videos that we put up like 6 years ago, it was a 6-minute video, a bit of an experiment, is still driving leads into our business. It's had 140,000 views. Those leads, when they come into us, can be worth anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 per lead. It's a very young version of me, with hair on my head, and it still drives leads, and people still, they see it and they go, hang on a minute, you've aged a lot very quickly. And I'm like, no, it's a long time ago. So, in terms of actually, thinking about what the categories are, I think it's worth doing the deep dive into it, but really asking the question, if you're considering this, exactly where are my customers hanging out? What are the benefits that they're looking for from you? What are the goals they've got in life, and how do you help serve that? And then, of course, do the things that the other speakers have been talking about, which is to build trust, build rapport, and start thinking about that. But the key message is that social media is really there to help you engage, and it's not like set and forget. It's about getting in there and engaging and commenting and reacting and participating in discussions, thinking about where your customers hang out. And some of the biggest mistakes I've made, and I'll end on this point, is hanging out in the wrong place. And thinking that there are particular platforms and particular content that is going to drive leads into our business. But top of the funnel activity for us are all the platforms. Bottom of the funnel for us is definitely YouTube and our email list. And YouTube's not super social. It's definitely got community and comments, but our email list is really where we're driving revenue. So I think it's really important. If your gut is saying, do I really need social media? Have a look at your revenue, have a look at your leads, and then ask the question, could I use social media to scale my message? Thanks, guys.